stop manifesting from your current identity. My name is Adrienne Grace. I'm a manifestation coach and an intuitive. And today I want to talk about changing your identity and not manifesting from the person that you believe yourself to be. So something really interesting about manifestation is that if we come from our current identity, we're just going to create more of the same thing in our lives. But really, what we're longing for is expansion. We're longing for more of ourselves. We have desires that are placed in our heart for the reason of expansion. So if you can achieve the things that you're looking to achieve, being the person you are today, then that's not really what's going on. It's not really the growth that you're after. Right? So you need to actually shift who you're being and shift your identity. If you knew how to receive and have all the things that you desire, you'd already have it. So something fundamentally has to change about your identity in order to manifest the things that you desire effortlessly into your lives. Now, when I work with clients, I take them through a distinct process. We first get super clear on what it is that you want, the vision that you have for your life. And it's not to become super attached to this vision, it's to understand that creating a vision that truly comes from your desires and comes from your heart, that gets you excited, and then just drop that picture because it can manifest, or something even better can manifest that the mind can't even comprehend. But we want to get into an excited state. And then the second step is the understanding the truth of who you really are. And what you really are is pure consciousness. You are not your name, you are not your body, and I've done several videos about this, and this explores the topic of non-duality, that you are just a field of pure consciousness that is aware of your name, aware of your body, and aware of all the thoughts, the feelings, and sensations. Right? That's all everything in life is either thoughts, feelings, or sensations arising in consciousness. And you are that consciousness. Now, once you start understanding this, you understand you are greater than your identity and who you believe yourself to be. And so once we have that down, and I do this through a distinct set of education and experiential meditations to have you experience this at a deep level, then we move into self-image, and that's the identity piece. So once you understand that you are nothing but pure consciousness, you can start actually choosing your identity. You can start thinking about, okay, who is that version? Who is that version of me that has the money, that has the partner, that has the house, that has the business, whatever it is that you're looking for? What would they be doing? How would they be dressing? How would they be presenting themselves? How would they be speaking to other people? And then you can build that identity from there, realizing that your current identity is nothing but a set of mental constructs. It's just who you think yourself to be, who you believe yourself to be, right? And there really, if you look closely, there is no true I that you believe yourself to be. It is just nothing more than a conglomeration of thoughts and past experiences. So this is the steps that I want you to come into in order to manifest what it is that you want. Get super clear on what it is that you want. And this can be a picture of a specific thing, or it could just be feelings of how you want to feel. But again, don't get so attached to the picture. Just use the picture to get yourself into an excited state. Write it down every single day. Have it crystal clear. Have it top of your mind. Something that inspires you and excites you to think about. Then step 2, start investigating who you are. Start thinking in meditation the question, who am I? And meditate on that question. See yourself as not your name, not your body, but the awareness that is behind all of that. because that is the truth of who you are, pure awareness or pure consciousness. I use those words interchangeably. And then the third step is then recreate your identity. Look at what it is you desire and think about, okay, the version of me that has all of this, who are they? And write out that identity like a movie script, right? If you were an actor and you were to get a script for a new role that you were playing, you would study that character. You would study how they eat, how they move, how they dress, and write out this new identity like this script, like a character. And then start practicing that. Start practicing being that version of you, knowing that your identity is malleable because all you are is pure consciousness. Yes, we have conditions, programs in our mind of who we're being in every day, but we can change that. It just takes a high degree of presence and changing and shifting in the present moment who you are being. Now, if you react in a certain way and that's not the way that that new version of you would react, you can always do a revision. What do I mean by this? So this is something that Neville Goddard talks about. And he says that, say maybe your child does something and you overreact and you yell at them and you lose your patience, and then you feel really guilty about it because that's not how that version of you acts. They have much more maybe patience and compassion, or it's your partner that you're short with, whatever it is. Well, you can replay that scenario in your mind and then be the person who you want to be. Now, obviously, this doesn't change what happened, but it starts reprogramming your mind on how you want to react. You can even play out the scenario with your partner or with your child, like, hey, let's do that again. I've actually done this with my partner before, and it's fun, and it gives you a chance to be something different and practice being that person. And this is how you start rewiring a new identity into your mind. So think about what it is you want, do practices on self-inquiry and self-investigation, and then write the script of who you need to be. You are not going to be able to manifest your desires being the person that you are today, because again, it's about growth, it's about expansion. And if you knew how to achieve those things or have those things, you would have them already. And if you think about who you are right now, you are fundamentally different than you were potentially a year ago, 5 years ago, when you wanted the very things that you have right now. And so it's in that change in who you're being that creates the outside world, that creates the manifestations. So your identity is really important because everything is flowing from this identity. You can even write in the script, how does this person think? Because that version of you thinks very differently. The things that that version of you that has the things that you want has a different set of problems, has a different set of challenges, has a different set of worries. So you can even play around with this, like, well, what would my worries be if, I was making $100,000 a month or $1 million a month? Maybe it would be, oh, what investment am I going to put all of this money in? Or where am I going to donate so I don't have to pay so much in taxes, right? So you can start elevating where your challenges or your problems would be. And that's going to get you on a completely different frequency. So when you find yourself maybe worrying about money in the present moment, shift that, right? Come into the present moment. The present moment is where all of your power lies. Any time that you're not present, it's because you probably feel a lot of stress and anxiety because you're trying to put yourself on a moment that is not yet here. So come into the now moment by taking 3 conscious breaths, going from your head down to your heart, and then just think about, okay, what do I want to be feeling right now? What do I want to be thinking about? And elevate yourself in that moment. Now, something else I want to talk about when it comes to discovering the truth of who you are, when it comes to discovering the fact that you are pure consciousness or pure awareness, when you're sitting in that meditation, oftentimes there are maybe emotions that come up or feelings that come up that have been pushed down or avoided. And this is a reason I believe that a lot of people don't like to meditate, because it can feel really uncomfortable, because again, a lot of these thoughts or feelings that we've suppressed start bubbling up to the surface. Now, if you identify with yourself as these feelings or as those thoughts, it can be really scary. But when you start identifying as the consciousness, as the awareness that's witnessing this coming up, it's a lot easier to breathe through it. And actually, that is when it can start dissipating. Emotions are energy in motion. So oftentimes, if we have a heavy emotion, a big emotion, even our joy, we actually suppress oftentimes, because we don't allow ourselves to be super happy. We shove these things down and we don't allow it to fully express itself in the body. But again, emotion is energy in motion. So it wants to be felt, it wants to be released. It's looking for an outlet. So be aware that this is part of the process, and it's actually a beautiful thing, because if you have a lot of these stored emotions in your body, that could be the very thing that's blocking your manifestations from coming in, because it might have some unresolved pain or unresolved trauma that's coming up, and it's actually maybe some beliefs that are not really true that are keeping your manifestations at bay. So the more that you can allow these things to bubble up to the surface and fully feel them, then the better. The more you release them and the lighter you actually become. So just get really present with yourself and don't be nervous about anything. Just come into the body. Really bring your energy into the physical body. The physical body is so intelligent, right? And just know that just by placing your attention on it gives it a permission almost to express itself and just to be felt and to move through. And as this happens, your energy centers become clearer and clearer and lighter. And as that happens, then more art particles of infinite creation, more energy can flow through your system, more life force can flow through your system. And that is a beautiful thing, because that is what's needed for manifestation, is more life force energy, more particles of infinite creation that you can summon into your body and that go outward into the universe. So have compassion with yourself in this process, because again, these energies in your system could be there for a really long time, and you might not completely eliminate something in one sitting. So just be really kind and gentle and tender with yourself as you go through this process. But know that it's part of this whole identity shift. It's about recognizing that you are not who you believe yourself to be, that you are just the consciousness behind this. And then from there, you can shift into a different identity that matches the desires that you want to manifest in your life. So I hope this video was helpful. I would love to hear if you do this process. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.